Today's the day. We're gonna win. We're gonna fight.
Notre Dame stops it. The Irish win the game.
Play with your brothers. You got a great opportunity. Let's go seize the moment. Let's go play.
Inside Notre Dame Football with Brian Kelly is presented by Team Notre Dame members Adidas, Gatorade, McDonald's, Coca-Cola, and Sprint. Inside Notre Dame Football is also brought to you by ATI Physical Therapy, Bank of America, Cadillac, CBTS, Xfinity, Meyer, Notre Dame Federal Credit Union, Sears, Sirius XM Satellite Radio, and UPS.
We're responsible for the execution of our offense and defense and special teams, and if they don't execute to a high level, it falls on me and our coaching staff too. So we win together, we lose together. It was a disappointing loss, but we didn't do the things necessary.
Irish head coach Brian Kelly talking about his team's performance in their 28-21 loss at Pittsburgh on Saturday night. Hello again, Irish fans, and welcome to this week's edition of Inside Notre Dame Football with Brian Kelly. I'm Jack Nolan. Whenever Notre Dame loses a football game, the passionate Irish fan base wants to know the reasons why. Coach Kelly gives us a concise and to-the-point answer to that question.
You know, I think it still comes down to, the ability to execute, especially on the road. And we know that our margin has not been great for success. We have to play almost to the point where we can't make those mistakes or we're not going to win games. We've shown that all year that we've been able to do that. We couldn't do it for some reason last night, and it cost us.
When you have the most live college football,
food's ready.
Okay, coming.
All you want to do is watch college football.
To the corner.
With Xfinity from Comcast, you get the most live college football, including ESPN Go Line on all your devices. You can't get all that with satellite, so switch to the Xfinity HD Premier XZ Triple Play, or ask about other bundles starting as low as $99 a month for a year.
Your home for the most live sports. Xfinity.
One more. Let's go, yo.
Go. Ready, one more. One more.
One more time, come on.
One more, let's get it, let's go.
Proven hydration to help replace what you sweat out.
One more championship. Let's go.
Before they earned enough cash back from Bank of America to help pay for Benny's expenses. Before they earned 1% back on all purchases, everywhere, every time. And 2% back at the grocery store. Even before earning 3% back on gas, with no hoops to jump through. They opened a Bank Americard Cash Rewards credit card just in time to open their hearts. That's the magnitude of rewarding connections. Apply online or at a Bank of America near you.
You know the problem with tall things in small spaces? Like dishes that don't fit in the top rack of the dishwasher. Come into Sears. I'll tell you about our one-hand adjuster on our exclusive Kenmore Elite dishwasher. It's amazing what'll happen when tall things have the right space. Also amazing, J.D. Power ranks Kenmore Elite highest in customer satisfaction.
One appliance store helps more people find savings and solutions than any other.
This is Sears.
The Irish unveiled a new wrinkle to their offensive playbook against the Panthers, handing the ball to T.J. Jones in the backfield. And that led to a big 35-yard run on Notre Dame's first touchdown drive.
Well, we had some opportunities based upon their defense when we were able to outflank their defense with him as a receiver, bringing him back into the backfield. And, of course, he's a gifted player with the ball in his hands. We've all seen that over the last year or so, that when he has the ball in his hands, he's pretty dynamic.
And a huge play, 4th and 4, you decide to go for it.
Where we were, the conditions there are pretty tricky with the wind, but we needed to get some points on the board, and I felt like we had some good plays matched up against what we were going to see defensively.
Let's talk about the pass to Daniels.
Well, again, it was a corner route. Daniels is somebody that gets matched up quite a bit to the field, and it was well executed. We just got to keep developing him. He's just got to keep working hard. and I think we can get that from him every single play.
The game changes early in the second quarter. Stephon Tuitt appears to make a big defensive play on Tom Savage. He's called for a personal foul targeting. They not only get the 15 yards, the first down, he's ejected for the rest of the game.
Yeah, it's a shame. Great hustle. Here's a 320-pound defensive tackle making a tackle on a quarterback out on the numbers by just great hustle. And to take great hustle away from a defensive lineman is a shame in football. We're going to have to obviously spend some time in the offseason looking hard at this rule, because you don't want to take away good football. You don't want to take away a guy who's trying to make a play when a quarterback ducks down to try to make a first down.
And a tremendous emotional blow for your defense as well. Pitt goes down the field and your defense didn't respond very well.
At that time, you know, there could have been a little bit of that, but it's still about guys making plays. There's enough players on that field without Stephon Tuitt for us to have to worry about Stephon not being in there. Our guys got to step up and make some plays, and they just didn't.
But you do respond with another quick drive, a big play to TJ. He really fights hard to get into the end zone. They strip the ball and takes that momentum away.
Yeah, TJ needs to put the ball away. He had it in one hand, didn't have it secured the right way, tried to secure it late, got the ball out. I think lesson learned there for TJ.
Your defense needed to respond then, and they did. They got a 3-8 and out, and you talked about TJ's heart. He then comes up with a very nice 13-yard punt return.
It was a great sudden change for our defense, and now was an opportunity for us, I felt, in that game where we could take Pitt and really get them out of the game and take the crowd out of the game.
And the big play on that next scoring drive was the 38-yard pass to Ben, where he almost gets into the end zone but sets up the touchdown.
Yeah, great corner route by Ben. And what I like about Ben is he just continues to develop in the passing game. He's got very good hands. He's been an outstanding blocker for us, and it's really nice to see him blossom. To have those two tight ends, Koyak and Nicholas, two great weapons.
And the versatility of having a TJ where now you've got him involved in so much. And I'm not sure before the season you ever thought you'd be giving him the ball and the one not throwing him the ball, but he brought it in for you.
Yeah, again, some matchup situations where we went now to spread. They brought in their nickel defense, and we got the matchup that we wanted so we could get to the edge.
The Irish led 14-7 at halftime, but they could not make the plays they needed to make to win the game in the second half. I asked Coach Kelly what he was most displeased with about his team's performance.
What was I not pleased with was consistent performance by our offense, defense, and special teams was really the issue against Pittsburgh.
You like to try new things. Now we have bold new tastes like never before. You like things made by hand. We're now grilling up freshly made egg whites. You like to cool down. We just added a refreshing new smoothie. You get wrapped up in things. We're introducing new, delicious ways for you to eat. There's no one quite like you. Now more than ever, there's something for everyone to love at McDonald's. Be in our ad. Go to I'mLovinIt.com.
You know the problem with tall things in small spaces? Like dishes that don't fit in the top rack of the dishwasher. Come into Sears. I'll tell you about our one-hand adjuster on our exclusive Kenmore Elite dishwasher. It's amazing what'll happen when tall things have the right space. Also amazing, J.D. Power ranks Kenmore Elite highest in customer satisfaction.
One appliance store helps more people find savings and solutions than any other.
This is Sears.
Customer Aaron Swenson bought from us online today, so I'm happy.
Sales go up, I'm happy.
It went out today, I'm happy.
What if she's not at home?
She won't be happy.
Use UPS. She can get a text alert, reroute, even reschedule a package. It's UPS My Choice.
You happy?
I'm happy.
I'm happy.
I'm happy.
I'm happy.
I'm happy.
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 I love logistics.
One of the big plays in the game occurred midway through the third quarter, with Notre Dame still leading 14-7 and Pittsburgh facing a 4th and 4 situation on the Irish 31. Pitt coach Paul Chris decided to go for it, and a pass interference call against the Irish gave Pittsburgh a first down and set up the tying score.
We knew the one-on-one matchup was Street, and they looked to him. And, you know, again, pass interference is one of those calls where it can go against you. It could go for you. That one went against us, and it set up a big play and eventually a touchdown.
You need to respond, and you do, with an aggressive first down call that is very well executed by Tommy and TJ.
Yeah, you know, play action pass, we run a crack and go. Their safeties had been filling hard on the run game, and just a great throw and a great catch. It was in stride. If it wasn't perfectly thrown, I think it's probably a 30 or 40-yard gain, but great throw, great catch, 80-yard touchdown pass, and it was fun to watch.
You've been consistent and straightforward about the need to make plays, and Pitt answers by making a play, and your defense doesn't make the play.
When you go back and look at this football game, it's a accumulation of players making plays on both sides of the ball. We can't give up points. So when you break it all down, you're going to make plays on both sides of the ball. We've already chronicled and illustrated a number of them, but when you start giving points up, that's where you start to find ways to lose games.
Taking points off the board, and clearly the pass into the end zone that turned into an interception by Tommy. Just talk about that play and what went wrong.
It's just a play that he's seen so many times. He probably wants that back as bad as anybody else. You know, trying to make a play that really wasn't there. Those are things that you do when you're a freshman. You don't do as a senior, and Tommy has no excuse for it. And at this point, you got to live for 3 points. You know, throw the ball away. We still got another down, and we'll find a way to get in the end zone.
There's a little bit of gray popping up in your hair. And this next play probably added a little because your defense responded. Prince Shembo gets in there. He forces a fumble. The ball is on the ground, and for whatever reason, your guys thought that the whistle had blown.
Kind of a way to think of that whole night. You know, it's just can't explain some things that happen. You know, the ball's on the ground. You play to the whistle, and for our guys not to play the whistle is you know, unexcusable. And so, you know, we miss an opportunity to pick that ball up and score. And eventually it proves to be a big play.
And then Pitt makes another play with an interception, and that ends up setting up the winning score.
We don't throw the ball late down the middle of the field. That's something that you're taught when you're a youngster. Unfortunately, we threw the ball late down the middle of the field, interception, and Pitt's able to cash it in on a short field.
Tommy Rees was the center point of the post-game discussions last night. He made mistakes against Pittsburgh. He also threw for 318 yards and 2 scores. So obviously he needs to correct those mistakes, but from a coach's perspective, again, talk about the way he played.
Well, he does some great things. It's unfortunate that the mistakes that he made were so glaring. You know, obviously the result of a turnaround of 14 points, and when it's a 7-point game, all of it is going to center around that. 3 or 4 bad plays that result in scoring plays, those can't happen. And Tommy knows that, and it's unfortunate that they did, but they can cost you games.
There is your final score. Pitt beats Notre Dame 28-21, only the second November loss for the Irish under Brian Kelly. Your final stats provided by UND.com show that while Notre Dame outgained the Panthers on the ground and through the air, the 3 Irish turnovers proved to be too difficult to overcome. The Irish players were devastated by their loss to the Panthers, but they did not avoid the media after the game. We'll let you see what they had to say right after this timeout. Outside the locker room after their loss in Pittsburgh, the Irish players were already focusing on what they need to do to bounce back with a win over BYU on Senior Day on November 23rd.
It starts with me and it starts with our senior leaders. And, we got to come back better. And yeah, I mean, there's definitely the little things we didn't do that you need to do to win games.
I know the seniors on this team, we don't want to go out, on the wrong note. So. We're going to prepare the right way and get ready for BYU.
You have the ability to go out there and play for Notre Dame is something that's unforgettable. So obviously a lot of guys feel the same way as me. So we don't really think of it as like, we're not playing the BCS, all's lost. We're going to battle.
We get frustrated in ourselves when we don't come out and we don't play the way we're supposed to. We go out there and we make penalties, and have fundamental errors.
The bottom line is Notre Dame lost a game to a gritty Pittsburgh team the Irish probably should have won. But the night was not without positive moments for Notre Dame, and one of those positive moments is this week's ATI Physical Therapy Strong and True Moment of the Week. Tommy Rees's 80-yard third-quarter touchdown pass to T.J. Jones. Here's the radio voice of the Irish, Don Criqui.
Rees under center. Dropping to throw. He's looking long. Downfield throw. Receivers out there. It's caught. And on the run. Separating from the defense, heading to the end zone is T.J. Jones. A one-play, 80-yard drive. What a throw and catch. What a run by T.J. Jones. His second touchdown of the night.
You wait all year for summer. This summer was definitely worth the wait. Summer's best event from Cadillac. Let summer try and pass you by. Lease this all-new Cadillac ATS for around $299 per month, or purchase for 0% APR for 60 months. The best offers of the model year end September 3rd.
Can I help you?
Excuse me, hi. I wanted to find out about the Unlimited for Life guarantee.
Sure. Sprint is guaranteeing unlimited talk, text, and data for life.
Cool. And what if, say, technically you were not alive? Like, maybe you were undead?
Like a zombie.
Whoa, let's not go putting labels on people. I'm a zombie.
Switch to Sprint and get unlimited for life. And now, save up to $100 on any phone.
Outside of Notre Dame staff members, usually only recruits, their parents, players, and special guests get to see the inside of Coach Kelly's office in the Goog. But recently, Coach agreed to give all Inside Notre Dame and Watch ND viewers a personal tour.
Well, the first thing that I would point to is the surfboard. I mean, you're in, you have recruits coming in here and parents, and they're all over the country. And what do they traditionally see? Well, they see rings, right? They see Coach of the Year. They see, different trinkets and footballs. Who has a surfboard? Only at Notre Dame. You can see it was a gift from the Notre Dame Club of Orange County. Only at Notre Dame can we get a surfboard. So that was a must. That had to get on the wall. I think the next thing that I think is really kind of neat is that this license plate. I saw this, and I didn't take it off a vehicle, as many people might thought. But I saw this in an art gallery, and the one thing I didn't want this office to look like, again, is like every other coach's office. So I thought it gave a nice look at something that was a little bit out of the ordinary when it came to a football coach's office. Because again, you're going to have the helmets, you're going to have the footballs, you're going to have those traditional things. But I wanted to have something that was a little bit different. Family picture back here. You got to have the family picture. Thing that I'm really proud of is being inducted into the Monogram Club this year. So I have a lot of pride in that, and that's right behind it. And sitting next to it is my my honorary doctorate from my alma mater, Assumption College, and that I put that up there so I can brag about being a honorary doctorate in case people seem to think that I'm a football coach and I don't know what I'm talking about. And then one of my real cool gifts is my bat from Shane Victorino from the Boston Red Sox. And of course, they're up 3-2 right now, trying to close out the Cardinals. So we got a little bit of luck right there. And above it, my Fenway Park, when we had the Notre Dame Club of Boston event out at Fenway Park. So I got a little bit of my Boston in here as well.
We thank Coach Kelly for taking the time to show all of us where he spends much of his time throughout the year. Christian Lombard had become a fixture for the Irish at right guard before a back injury the week of the Air Force game ended his string of 20 consecutive starts. With that much on-field experience, you know he will have little trouble fielding my questions on this week's 60-second drill.
First car you ever drove?
Jeep Grand Cherokee.
Favorite TV show?
Sopranos.
Favorite musical group or artist?
Third Eye Blind.
Favorite ice cream flavor?
Vanilla.
If you were a professor, what class would you teach?
A food class.
Favorite breakfast meal?
Eggs.
Get up early or sleep in?
Sleep in.
First word that comes to mind when you think about Camp Shiloh?
Fun.
Climbing wall or zip line?
Neither.
Toughest player to block on the team?
I'm gonna have to go with Big Lou.
Best singer on the team?
Best singer, Andrew Hendricks.
Best dancer on the team?
Andrew Hendricks.
Best comedian on the team?
Tyler Stockton.
Best dresser on the team?
My man, Austin Collinsworth.
Worst dresser on the team?
Nick Martin.
Best thing about playing for Notre Dame?
Getting to run out of that tunnel.
Christian Lombard, you've completed 60 seconds in Inside Notre Dame Football.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, that pie looks wonderful. Be sure to sugar that.
At Meijer, we've got everything you need for the perfect Thanksgiving dinner.
Over here, yes.
All at low Meijer prices.
Oh, they're here.
And that's better for everyone. Because when your money goes a little further, so can you.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving.
Come on in.
I'm very happy I made the switch.
It's easy.
They're great.
As I go out, being nervous about going out into the world.
You switch because
For what you get and what they give back.
of the people.
It'd just be another thing that I know is there for me all the time.
It's a no-brainer.
It's about family. It's about values. It's about doing things the right way.
And that's why I'm sticking with them.
You just get sucked in, and it's great. We're there.
Notre Dame Federal Credit Union. Come home.
You know you're going to get the best when you go to Notre Dame Federal Credit Union.
It's time once again for this week's Ask Coach Kelly question presented by CBTS. This week's question comes from Jason Clark of Macomb, Illinois, who asks, Coach, how do you go about voting in the coaches poll with the busy schedule coaches seem to have?
Well, I got to give credit to my assistant, Beth Rex. She has all of the polls, all of the scores. She has all the information laid out for me. For example, I did it on the plane last night. Got all the scores in. Certainly, we didn't get in until 3:30, and then she phones all that in for me. But she provides all the information, so Beth's got to get all the credit.
If you would like to send in a question for Coach Kelly, just log on to UND.com and click on Ask Coach Kelly in the rotating boxes in the middle of the main page. The Irish have the weekend of November 16th off, giving them 2 weeks to prepare for their home finale against a BYU team that last season threw quite a scare into ND Nation, forcing the Irish to come from behind with a fourth quarter touchdown to record a 17-14 win at Notre Dame Stadium.
They can throw the football, there's no question. They've got some outstanding wide receivers, great size at that position, but it starts with the quarterback. And if you cannot control the quarterback from running the football, they put you in so many tough situations relative to play action that you're in trouble. And we knew them from last year. Obviously, it's a team that plays physical. It's a mature team. It'll be a great way to finish the home slate here, and 2 teams that will get after it.
Coach was talking about BYU quarterback Taysom Hill, who is averaging 247 passing yards and 99 rushing yards per game this season. This year's game between the Cougars and Irish will mark the 8th time Notre Dame and BYU have met on the football field, and the 5th time in the last 11 years Notre Dame holds a 5-2 edge in the series. That will do it for this week's edition of Inside Notre Dame Football. We, of course, will be back in a couple of weeks with all the highlights of Senior Day 2013 for the Fighting Irish football team. Until then, thanks so much for watching, and as always, go Irish. Inside Notre Dame Football with Brian Kelly has been presented by Team Notre Dame members Adidas, Gatorade, McDonald's, Coca-Cola, and Sprint. Inside Notre Dame Football has also been brought to you by ATI Physical Therapy, Bank of America, Cadillac, CBTS, Xfinity, Meijer, Notre Dame Federal Credit Union, Sears, Sirius XM Satellite Radio, and UPS.